Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Coach Mike, Coach Smith, Coach Borders here. Season review of our season. Looking forward to sophomore night, but also looking forward to 10 days from now when we go up to the state tournament. So, Coach, thank you for joining me. Coach Borders, thank you for joining me. I know we just had practice this morning, so what are you guys' thoughts so far on the last couple weeks of the season?
Well, last couple of weeks have been very exciting times for us, but very stressful too. We kind of put ourselves in a position to control our own destiny, and we took care of business with a big win and a tough win against a great opponent, Indian River. They gave us a really tough battle for that championship spot. We ended up beating them by 2 at their place. It's always tough to beat a team 3 times.
Yep.
No doubt, very, very tough. We get to that point where everybody knows your tendencies and what you're doing, so it really just comes down to grit, and I just love where our team is at right now. We're definitely on the uptick in the grit department,
Yep.
and I'm hoping we carry over that same philosophy into the region tournament.
Yeah. So, going along that same line, can you give everybody that's watching just a little backdrop of non-conference season, the 2019 part of the 2019-2020 season?
Well, I mean, there's a method behind the madness in scheduling. We played every panhandle this year by design,
Yep.
no doubt, because I knew in the bigger picture that we would see them in March.
Yeah.
And I wanted our guys to be ready, not be a deer in the headlights, to already be road warriors. We've played 3 games in one weekend going up to the Panhandle.
Yeah.
So we know what it's like. We've been through kind of the rigors of what we're going to go through for the Region A tournament. So I feel like as a coach, we prepared them.
Yep.
They're ready to go. So let alone are we playing at a high tick now, we are prepared to deal with the woes of travel and going 8 hours on the bus to Niceville. We know what we're expecting, the hotel, the venue, the environment. I mean, we're there to do business. And I'm really looking forward to it, and I think our team is looking extremely forward to it. But before we put that cart before the horse, we still have Miami-Dade. And they just clinched on sophomore night. They just clinched the 2nd place spot, so they're going to be up in Niceville too. And I know we want to represent Southern Conference very, very well up there.
Yeah.
But get back on your question. As we went up there, we played the Panhandle teams competitively.
Yes.
We did, even though some of the scores wouldn't show that.
Yeah.
However, we were still learning how to play like a team.
Yes.
And once we realized what each player's roles were, and we can fine-tune that and learn how to work together, which we're starting to do now, they are going to see a totally different team when we go up there.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing that transition, and I know our guys are looking forward to proving themselves and their worthiness of being one of the top teams in Region A.
Yeah. And Coach, it's actually funny you say that, because there's been Panhandle coaches who, way back in November, who were worried about us because they knew we were going to upset somebody.
Sure.
And they saw that back in November when we were still putting it together, still even struggle busing a little bit.
Sure.
But now it's nice that we actually had that opportunity to see if we can knock somebody off that everybody's been saying we were going to do 5 months ago.
Absolutely. And this could be a perfect storm for us, in all fairness, because the Panhandle, they've been tough, they're competitive. Top to bottom, even with Pensacola, Tallahassee, they're all beating each other up. And now they're showing that there's kink in their armor. And here we are kind of running through our conference, not easily. I mean, we're battling. However, we can see that, everybody on any given night has that ability to be upset. And the thing is that's our philosophy has been take 1 game at a time. And right now our next opponent is Miami-Dade. But once that game is over, it's the 2nd place team in Mid-Florida, which has yet to be determined, but it doesn't matter. We'll worry about that hurdle when we need to. But I really love the direction and the path that's set for us right now in this Region A tournament. I can't tell you how excited I am for our team.
Yes. So, Coach Borders, we know Tuesday sophomore night, but this is also your first year with us. So can you just reflect back a little bit on how this first year has been, your experience a little bit, maybe some of the things you've learned and didn't know about, that kind of stuff.
It's been a great ride. Coach Mike and Coach Smith, they've been great. They've helped me along the way. One thing that's surprising is the fact that we work more on us rather than looking at other teams. We work on what we have to do instead of worrying about what others do. And I think that's huge that I've learned as I see the results and I see us winning from that. But it's funny to listen to the scheme and how you made the schedule and learn that, and then see it all come full circle, what we'll face at state, how we played Panhandle, how we played 3 times in a row. That's something that I'm learning, like, you know, wow, it's all full circle, and that's what we're literally about to face. So I've learned a lot. I've really enjoyed it. And then on top of that, we're winning. We're champions, so winning is always fun. But even past that, it's fun to learn and make mistakes and learn from the mistakes, even from the little things as the scout reports, and then fixing that and learning from that. And I'm still learning. I have a lot to learn. I'm far from done with that, but it's been a great ride, so I've enjoyed it.
So, okay, now let's switch gears a little bit, and let's talk recruiting. Because now is the time of year where, people start reaching out to JUCOs for transfers, that kind of thing. Coach, can you just give me a little update on kind of interest, offers, that kind of thing? I know, as far as my knowledge, all 7 of our sophomores have interest out there.
Yep.
But can you just talk a little bit of what goes on behind the scenes? I see your phone lighting up, probably Coach calling you or texting you, because it's that time of year,
It's that time of year. Well, having 7 sophomores and having the success we're having is bringing a lot of good attention to our young ladies, and they're going to be able to help bring maturity and experience to any program.
Yes.
And we have guys that are going to fulfill their destiny at various levels. We have some that are definitely getting big Division I looks. We have some that are getting D2, NAIA. There's going to be a home and fit for all of them.
Yep.
And I'm real excited and proud for that fact.
Yep.
Though they haven't made commitments just yet because we don't want them to go on visits until after we're taking care of business here.
Yep.
And these schools know that, and they're in their recruiting process as well, and they're in their postseason too. So everybody's focused on still 2020 season.
Yep.
However, we're always recruiting, and our girls know to be patient. But the interest, they're not worried about being picked up.
Yes.
They're going to find a home.
Yep.
And for any coaches out there too, I mean, all of our gals are open.
Yep.
they're willing to go anywhere,
Yep.
which is the nice thing. The reality is just finding the right fit. And I got to say, I can't say it enough to coaches, and that's been the success with our team, is finding that right fit for their abilities.
Yes.
And that's the way I recruit. I don't pigeonhole our gals, but I don't like having too much of one kid and ability. I don't want a team of all just 3-point shooters and nobody can get to the rack. Everybody's got to have their strengths. And I think that there's an important part about that in teaching team dynamics and putting it all together. And this team has done a great job from the beginning and learning how to play with one another to now the results we're getting. And I think the coaches that are recruiting them can see the same benefit for their programs with the young ladies we have.
And let's stick to recruiting, because Coach Borders, you weren't with us the first 2 years. And our first 2 years weren't the smoothest, we'll agree to that.
Challenge.
But, and you, Coach, you and me had this talk plenty of times. If we don't like what's going on, let's recruit better players, let's get better ourselves.
Yep.
So take everybody through kind of how we recruit, because we recruit a little differently than how some of the other schools recruit. We don't use recruiting services. We don't pay for any of that. So talk about that, but talk about the challenges that go along with JUCO recruiting.
Oh man, where to begin?
Yeah.
Well, the tough part about what we do at the JUCO level is, a lot of it, even doing these recruiting services, it's truly not necessary. The reality is you got to put the work in. You got to reach out and build those connections and relationships. And it's not always just with the AAU coaches. It's just going directly through the kid and their parents. And I think that's kind of what we do differently.
Yes.
Is we do give everybody consideration that reaches out to Palm Beach State. And I will take a look. I will leave no stone unturned in that regard. And I wish every day there was 5 of me that I could see so many. because I feel like we still miss out on some of those diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
And, you know, and that's kind of our secret to success too, is we love finding those kids that nobody wants to make the effort.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that fall off or slip through the cracks.
Or haven't played AU for their
Yeah,
senior
or
year.
yeah, haven't played travel ball, or
Yeah.
they're on an AAU team that doesn't travel in the big tournaments,
Yeah.
right? Or get all the big names. But, you know, the art is really just doing the work.
Yes.
And actually getting out and seeing these games, and the kids actually seeing your face at times,
Yeah.
and knowing that you're supporting. You know, it's not just swooping in at the 11th hour
Yeah.
and saying, hey, by the way, I want to give you a scholarship, and offer rides with never seeing the kid,
Yes.
or building a relationship just because you went, you know, word of mouth.
Yes.
And I think a
Yeah.
lot of coaches do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't know what others do, and you know I truly do not
No.
care. I know what works for me, and that's kind of, everybody's got to build their own philosophy in that regard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, JUCO recruiting, we don't have the budget.
No.
We don't have the budget. I can't get to fly to all these great tournaments or these recruiting services and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
So we have to really utilize our digital, utilizing our own players are your best recruiters at times,
Yeah.
some of my former players, and just, it's lucky that I've been in the business for 25 years. I have contacts all over going, hey, coach, you might want to take a look at this kid.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, sometimes, like you said, don't even play travel ball, haven't even been seen, or they play on a horrible high school team, but they're the stud on the team.
Yeah.
And they're just not getting that opportunity. And, but I love finding those kids because, you know, it makes it very difficult to compete with programs that can give you maybe a little bit more scholarship-wise or what have you. But I'll tell you what, this place is a gold mine, and you can't beat South Florida and Palm Beach being 3 miles away, and you know, you get to go to school in paradise.
Yep.
I can't tell you, as I tell kids when they come on the visit, I have no idea how many palm trees are on Palm Beach State's
They keep
campus.
adding to them every day.
Exactly. It is a tropical paradise, and it is just a aesthetically pleasing place to come academically, and a great place to grow athletically.
Yeah. Well, and go along with that, we have the best recruiting service. We use social media.
Yes.
Because everybody's putting all these tweets out there, these Instagram posts, the videos, this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, tag us in it. We see it. You know, we always take a look at it. We watch it. Email us. Our emails are getting blown up now pretty much every day.
Yeah. We'll
you know,
DM
2, 3
right?
kids. We'll DM kids if we like what we see. And AU coaches have been awesome though too. You know, of reaching back out to us. Like, yeah, my kid doesn't fit your system or style, but I know a kid.
Sure.
You know, and we're very grateful for those people who look out for people that aren't part of their program. You know.
Yeah.
So, Coach Borders, any last words?
No,
No.
I'm excited. Like she said, it's been a great place to grow, even as a coach, not even just as a player, as a coach. And I'm very lucky to have a good staff that's very welcoming. They've been welcoming and helped me learn, helped me fall on my butt. But I also get up, and I like that personally because I can grow, and I have grown as a coach. Obviously, I've been a player and grown a lot. You know, as a player, but now to grow as a coach, it's been a great ride. Win or lose, either way, I'm learning. So I'm very happy about that. So thank you.
No, of course, we've been blessed that you've been able to join us for this year. You know, and hopefully it keeps going.
Yes.
You know, but we love what you brought. You know, we love that the connections you're making with the kids. You're able to be hard on them, but love them at the same time, just like we do. You know, but it's different coming from a female closer to their age than it is coming from a male or from the head coach. You know, so words can't express how much we love having you around. You know, Coach, any last words?
Oh my God, I just want to thank Panther Nation and the support we've had. I know this year has been kind of new for us with the live stream, and we love all you guys that have been following us that can't make it to our home games, and we want to represent really, really well. And we definitely want to encourage, we get players from all over, not just in the United States, but internationally. But my biggest shout out is even to some of our local guys. We're not forgetting about you by any means. And please, if you have any interest, please feel free to contact me. I always want to make sure we take care of our own backyard before we even move on further. But I do love bringing culture and different areas. You know, that's part of the college experience as well. And I think that's super important. But I just want to thank everybody for their support and keep following us. And I'm looking forward to Region 8 tournament.
Yeah, so next up is sophomore night, Tuesday night, Panther Nation. Make sure you guys come out, pack the house, 5:30 p.m. Lake Worth campus, and then the following week we got states, live stream link and all that stuff we'll put up on our Twitter as we get closer to Tuesday's game, but then also we got to keep everybody updated on state tournament games and times. So thank you, Coach Borders. Thank you so much. Coach Smith, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys later.